All this national motocross action is proudly brought to you by TRP Distributors, Cannabis Energy Drink, and their associate sponsors. Welcome to the final action from 2020's TRP and Cannabis Energy Drinks National Motocross Championships. We're in Bloemfontein at the Bloemfontein Off-Road Club. The track is perfect as we've seen from the previous shows, and now ready to wrap up the final 3 championships for 2020. 65cc's 125 high school and the MX2 category is what we're concentrating on here. And fantastic to have Cannabis Energy, TRP, and all our associate sponsors, and of course all the team sponsors involved for the 2020 season. Considering the fact that we were in lockdown, it was great to go racing and finally get this championship sorted out. Neil van der Vyver looking to retain the number 1 plate. Looks like he's got to just stay upright to do that. He's going to be pushed hard though by Jordan van Wyk and Trey Cox. Needless to say, there's still going to be a battle on here today for the final honours of 2020. Gates drop towards Bridgestone corner, and the pack of 65s head down there on the small wheels on the big track. And a couple of ruts that have formed over the last 2 days could be a bit of a concern here for some of the riders. Try and find that hot line is always the ideal thing to do right from the word go, and it looks like that's exactly what Van der Vyver has done. Jordan van Wyk fighting with Trey Cox and Blade Tilley. Aidan Henley had a good start, so did Christian Barrington-Smith. And the 2-2 bike starting to make its way through there of Nickel Smith. So he'll look at you turn things around. Didn't quite have the right day he wanted on Saturday, but yeah, on Sunday and the double header, it looks like he's going to be a slightly higher up than what he was on Saturday. Fight continues for second place. As you can see, Trey Cox has moved into second. He's going to maintain the second place board as well in this championship, unless Jordan van Wyk can spoil his day, and Van Wyk definitely wants to take that number 2 plate. He might not run it because his preferred number is 747, but second place in the championship certainly up for grabs. And it's going to be between Jordan van Wyk and Trey Cox. The pack come through there, Trent Valsecki and Blake Frost with Christopher Brindley and Casey Tilley a little bit further back. And as they come now into this very tricky section, 747, not quite going like a Boeing because he's sitting in 3rd place. And let's see what he can do now about Trey Cox, who's pulling slightly away. Trent Valsecki starting to put the pressure onto the back end there of Smith and Jack Pullen. And Pullen didn't have quite the start he wanted here in this first heat. Rider down is the 4-4 bike there of Daniel Brindley. He gets back up and riding. A little bit of assistance from the sideline, but doesn't look like there's any answer to the pace out front here of the Leot man on the Husqvarna. This is a fantastic run for this season from this youngster as well. It's definitely a tough man to beat. Van Wyk gave him a bit of a run right at the word go though. He didn't quite have it all his own way, and it's been a nice little problems there for Cox. I was about to say a nice season, but Cox's season might have just turned around there. He made a big mistake. Trey Cox getting the wrong line through this turn and falls back by the wayside, behind Blade Tilley by the looks of things as well. He's looked to come back at him. You see he's starting to close things down there and possibly going to spoil the day. But I think that was a mistake that could have been a very costly one there for Trey Cox. Jordan van Wyk now into second place. Where is Cox? Has he moved to 3rd, or is he still fighting it out there with Tilley and Henley? He comes through. No, he's moved up to 3rd. So there you go. Just squeezing out the brightly coloured machine there of Blade Tilley. Now you can see some manoeuvring happening through there. 1-1-0, Trent Valsecki in the mid-pack looking for a top 10 if he can. He'll be looking to beat out Blake Frost and maybe even Sven Larsson. Sven Larsson also having a good run there, and the last man in single digits. Tilley coming back here. Old school kit that he's running there, but of course there is a couple of brand manufacturers, including Thor, that have gone with a couple of old school style, very bright colours for 2021. We'll be seeing those, I'm sure, in the 2021 season. And Blade Tilley now looking to close down on Cox. He's made up a little bit of ground there. Behind them, starting to get into the mix there, Christian Barrington-Smith, Jack Pullen and Nickel Smith. Not such a bad run here from them. Coming into it, you can see that is Pullen now starting to close onto the back end and look for a way through on Barrington-Smith. Checkered flag is going to come out though. Championship done, final race of the year done as well. And it's the number 1 plate once again going to Neil van der Vyver. Second place goes to Jordan van Wyk. Nice comeback there from Trey Cox. Looks like he'll be finishing up down in 3rd place in the championship as we look at the overall championship positions. Van der Vyver from Jordan van Wyk, Cox in 3rd with Pullen, Tilley, Henley, Larsson and Christian Barrington-Smith. They're in 8th place on the Westside Motorcycles Husqvarna. Championship once again, and the number 1 plate going to Neil van der Vyver. Let's go down into MX2s now for their second last race of the season. The gate's about to drop, and it's a super start coming out of Reynard as well. And he goes side by side with the 34 of... what a move there from Cox. Absolutely brilliant stuff coming out of Brad Cox, and he looked like he almost got the whole shot. He just got beaten by the looks of things there by the Yamaha. But Brad Cox came out of the gate firing big time down into Brookstone corner. 914 right at the back. Keegan Hickson Mahoney looking for a turnaround today as well. Didn't go all according to plan on Saturday. Looking for a better outing here on the final round on Sunday. Up front, good start there from Anthony Reynard. Reynard leads things out, controlling things yet again. And I think that is now 7 out of 8 whole shots he's got. Unbelievable weekend for Anthony Reynard. Now with that, I've got to start saying Anthony Reynard looks like he might be in contention here for spoiling the day for his fellow Yamaha rider and maybe have a chance of taking this championship. It's going to be interesting to see how things finish up. If he can get 2 wins today on that Senswalo Dragon Energy Yamaha, he may spoil the day there for Slade Smith and David Goosen. Smith now starting to close onto the back end of Mlini and looking for a way through. But it's not kind of the start that you want from Slade Smith if you're looking for a championship. You've got to be right up there and in the hunt at the front. That's exactly what he's going to try and do now from this point on. Cam Deroe is there in second. Behind him is Goosen in third, getting a face full of roost there from Deroe's Reef Tanker Services KTM. The Monster Energy and Out of Africa Yamaha into third and looking for second. He's looking from behind as well to make sure that Slade Smith stays behind him. Remember, the fight is on between the two of them. Oh, and Mlimi! Wow! Very lucky to survive that one. A touch between the two riders as they came over that little step, and he got it completely sideways. Very lucky to recover that one. Opening things up at the front end now. A bit of a commanding lead now coming out of Reynard. As you can see, there's just no way around that KTM of Deroe for Goosen. Down through the Prepsol whoops. And Goosen's trying to close down, but he hasn't been able to find a way through there on Cam Deroe. Deroe's mentioned it in the last show. He's kind of had a turnaround on his motorcycles. He's normally a little bit quicker on the 450, but today he seems to have just found something special on the 250. Oh, what a move. You can see it's getting up close and personal between Keegan Hickson Mahoney and Proctor. Nice little chopping and changing, and some block passes being thrown out there on the motocross track. Deroe still in second, trying to close down on Reynard. Reynard controlling things from the front. Not really any issues there for Anthony Reynard. When he's out front in this kind of form, he's a difficult man to beat. Cam Deroe hanging on to second. How far back is Goosen? He's giving himself a little bit of breathing room and probably a bit of a roost gap to stop getting attacked by the roost coming off the front end of the back end of that KTM. Then it's Mlimi. Then Slade Smith only there in fifth. So Smith has got some work to do. He's got to try and get up there. And I think those pit boards will be telling him Reynard almost has an opportunity of spoiling the day here for the other two Yamahas. Speaking of spoiling the day, issues for Cox. Brad Cox coming out of that corner with a bit of an issue, banging down on the gearbox, trying to make a way past, and it doesn't look like there's an issue there. Speaking of trying to make a way past, here comes the move. Up into third place now. And the reason being is Goosen's down. Goosen has crashed out on the sideline. He's gone peakless as well. So issues here for Cox. He pulls into the pit area. And Goosen has gone down in a big way. Reynard now has a massive opportunity on his hands. I don't think he realizes what this is going to do if he takes the victory. Deroe and Smith. Smith has got to get through on Cam Deroe. He cannot afford to let Cam Deroe take second place when he's got Reynard up front. I don't know if they realize how tight this championship is going to be now if Reynard takes the win. I'm sure Wayne Smith on the sideline is working out all the calculations and potential changes in points with Goosen down and now Smith into third, possibly into second as he applies the pressure onto Deroe. Come out of that Cannabis Energy Drink section now through the FMF turn and onto the Prepsol whoops. Deroe still maintains second, but there is certainly a lot more determination coming out of Slade Smith. Smith is looking to close things down, get past and get up to second. I don't know if he'll be able to catch first place because Reynard is a long way up the road from these two. And now as they head down towards seventh heaven. Oh, what a shot. Oh, I was hoping we would stay with that. The two riders in the air at the same time. Another rider down, that's Jaden Proctor. No, it's Keegan Hickson Mahoney. Hickson Mahoney's gone down. So a bit of a mistake there from Keegan Hickson Mahoney. I did say he was going to try and turn his luck around. It hasn't quite worked out for him. 151 of Dalton Fenter. Where's he now? He's sitting down. Well, he's actually got some problems there. I think it actually earlier on may have been Hickson Mahoney and Fenter who came together there, which is why Dalton Fenter is so far back. Here comes a move though from Slade Smith. He is definitely closed up on the back end of Deroe and once passed. So looks like Slade Smith now meaning a lot more business. And under braking, now under acceleration as they come to complete another lap. Watch him trying to find a way through. Block pass coming up with a lap to go. He's got to get through on Duro. You can see them telling him from the sideline he's got to push. You can see the men from the KTM side of things telling Duro to keep him out. Go for the chance of getting a podium here. And the second step of the podium will be incredible for Cam Duro. Here comes Smith though. Wide line, watch him cut back on the inside. Try and find that grip that's not available out there. It's starting to get a little bit squirrely out there. Not going to be easy for the second heat of the race day, that's for sure. The track is starting to break up, but that's exactly what you want on a motocross track. Giving different lines, there we go. Speaking of different lines, high line from Smith, inside line from Duro. It's so close. Duro came straight across his nose. Here we go, possible change up. Is Duro going to keep him out? No, he can't. This time Smith gets through. It's taking him a long time to get through, but he eventually makes it and gets ahead. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a run to the line here. Is Duro going to be able to catch him? They're not going to catch Reynard, as I said. Reynard has done it all to perfection and maintained the lead of this race since he took it. He takes the win and becomes a contender with Slade Smith going into the last round of this championship for a potential 2020 overall championship as well for Reynard. He takes the win ahead of Slade Smith, Cam Duro and Fitzgerald in fourth. Mlimi, Wright, Proctor and Goosen your top 8. Little recovery from David Goosen. Let's see what happens after the break for the final round of MX2s. Welcome back to Cannabis Energy Drink and TRP National Motocross action. It's the final round in Bloemfontein. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen now in the high school class. And Mlimi has wrapped up the championship basically, so it's just literally the final blood of the season that's available here today. And let's see on this doubleheader in Bloemfontein, who's going to have what it takes. Is anybody going to be able to take on John Mlimi and maybe just spoil his day and his championship winning season with the last victories of the season going the way of somebody in the gates? It's a great start out the gates though for Mlimi. He goes side by side with Miguel Duval. Miguel Duval looking for a chance to maybe squeeze through there for the whole shot. Looks like Celias has got bumped out slightly, but around the outside, what a start there coming out of Baron Tatoy. Baron Tatoy gets the whole shot and goes side by side with Mlimi. Behind him, it's Duval. The rest of the pack coming through there. Watch out for the recovery coming from Christian Celias. Christian Celias got a little bit squirrely and actually tipped the back end, I think, of one of the KTMs as he came out the gate. Baron Tatoy, though, leading things out. What a start there from the youngster. One of the smallest riders out there. Great start coming out of Deegan Bloomfield as well. He was up in 7th place there on the Ridgeway race bar bike. Much better outing for him on the 125. And already bar banging. Here we go. Mlimi versus Duval. Duval on the inside forces Mlimi into a slightly different line coming out of FMF and now into Prepsol. Possible change up here. Watch for the high line from Duval. He'll cut back. Try and squeeze out Baron Tatoy. Tatoy gets good drive though and hangs on for now. But only just. Look at that. Unbelievable action there from the top 3. They pulled a small margin even over the 4th place bike so far. And I think that might be Marc-Anthony Philippe down in 4th. So here we go. The 2 KTMs are through. Rad KTM and the TRP Red Bull KTM just getting ahead there of Baron Tatoy on the Yamaha. Around the outside, some maneuvers, slightly different lines coming through there from Wes McGavin and Garrick Henley. But it's now all about Miguel Duval pulling away from the new champion. And it's a great run here from these two. You can see it's going to be a tough battle on their hands. Hayden Tully's up there as well now with Baron Tatoy. Joining the pack is the 777, the second of the Ridgeway race bar Husqvarna's there of Callum Broski. So Broski now getting into that pack and fighting for what is going to be 5th place. The rest of them coming through. The Garrick Henley, Wes McGavin. A nice fight between them expected as well. The guys will pick up sort of the gaps and on a similar vein, the riders that are on similar kind of lap times to what they are. And that's exactly what we're seeing here for the battle for 4th. 4th place battle heating up there. Callum Broski closing onto the back end of it. Just behind him, that's I think Diane Manuel who's moved up there nicely too. So it's great fights in this final round of the 125s. Didn't expect to see Miguel Duval showing a clean pair of wheels to the new champion, but it doesn't look like there's any answer coming out of Mlimi at this stage. Wait until we get to the end there. We'll wait and see if there's going to be any changes there as Duval controls things from the front over the fly jump. Here comes Mlimi. Oh, Mlimi having a look on the inside, getting real up close and personal. Oh, it's a great fight here between these two. These are good friends of circuit, but arch rivals on it. And Duval now fighting hard with John Mlimi, and Mlimi just keeping it all together right on his tail. Not going to give him any room to breathe. He's going to definitely have a go later on if he can. A couple of laps still to go now in this 125 final heat of 2020. Duval hangs on, Mlimi still in 2nd. It's Hayden Tully who's moved up into third place with Baron Toy still fighting with him, and Mark Anthony Philippe and Christian Saliers has recovered. Rider down, that's Broski. Broski's gone down. Callum Broski crashing out there on the Ridgeway race bar bike. That's a big pity for him. In the mid-pack as well, they're also starting to sort things out there. Diane Manuel starting to move through. I did see him earlier on. He's just ahead there of Ethan Hoffman, who hasn't had quite the start he wanted in this final heat of 2020. Mlimi now, has he got what it takes to close in and possibly get through on Duval? Not the way that Miguel Duval is riding today. Look at that, he's got at least 10 bike lengths over Mlimi, but that might just be a roost gap that Mlimi's giving himself. Maybe waiting for the closing stages before he has a final ditch effort to get through on Miguel Duval. That Rad KTM though is going really well here today. Here's a move, I was about to say. Oh! Can you believe that? It's a touch between the two of them. I don't think that was, yeah, exactly. I didn't think that was expected. Definitely not Miguel Duval or Mlimi's fault. It was just a touch of wheels as they came out of this turn. And you can actually see Mlimi rolled off over the jump and was looking back to say, where is Miguel? I wanted to have another go here. But unfortunately, that's what happens in motocross on some occasions. Overall championship, as we said, has already gone to John Mlimi. It's Christian Saliers who eventually finishes up in second place with a good recovery in that heat to beat Miguel Duval in the championship, but not on the day. Hoffman in fourth, Hayden Tully, Mark Anthony Philippe, Young and Henley, your top 8. Let's catch up now with Miguel Duval.
100%, that was probably one of the toughest races of my life. I held it on for as long as I could. I really thought I could have had it at the end, but Jono outsmarted me, rode a better race than me and made the pass of me with like 1 lap to go. It was a great race, probably one of the best races I've ever had, so bummed I couldn't get the win, but happy I held it for as long as I did.
Great run there from Miguel Duval, but a great championship going to John Mlimi.
Been wanting this for so long. Going into the year I wasn't really ready, First round was not a good one for me, and went into lockdown. I flew over to Uganda to see some family, and the Olin family, they help us so much. Thank you guys very much, love you guys, and just training for 7 months there. Obviously the national started resuming, so I had to come back home, and I just wanted to show these guys I'm back, and Apex Predator. It is wonderful, and I just can't thank all my sponsors and everyone who's supporting me. Thank you guys.
Welcome back to the final bit of action from 2020's TRP Cannabis Energy National Motocross Championships. And is the rain going to play a factor again? A massive thunderstorm making its way towards the PORC. Is that going to be a massive factor again here, like it was in 2019? Slade Smith and Anthony Reynard are split by 2 points. Who's going to have what it takes to take the final victory and the championship for 2020 in the 250s? 5-second board. Waiting for those gates to drop. Good start out of Reynard side by side with Smith. That's exactly where they needed to be. Look at the start coming out of Mlimi and Cox. The two of them banging bars as they came into turn 1, but it's Reynard who hole shots yet again. Oh man, has he not put a wheel wrong into that hole shot position all weekend long? No, he has not. He's got every single one of them. An amazing run this weekend from Reynard, and you can see he's fired up now and wants to take this championship from Slade Smith. Good start coming out of Goosen as well. He's kind of fallen out of the championship due to that crash in the first heat, so he'll be looking maybe for second place if he can, but there's still a lot of work to be done at the front end, and as they come over the Cannabis Energy and Thor jump there, you can see just how difficult it's going to be there for Reynard and Smith. And it looks like Kieran Fitzgerald is going to make a little bit of a thorn amongst the roses for those Yamahas and the Husqvarnas that are fighting at the front end. Oh man, how would that be? Swan song race here for Kieran Fitzgerald. He'd love to take the final victory, considering the fact that he's going to be putting that helmet up on the mantelpiece and giving it a little bit of a rest in his riding career. Smith has not had the start he wanted. He's got a bit of work to do from the back end, and you can see now starting to close on Fitzgerald there for second and third. Fitzgerald controlling things for second, but not really closing in on the gap out front there between himself and Reynard over that jump. And all of a sudden it is Slade Smith who has to get to the front, has to win. That man who's going to win this championship is going to win the race. That's basically how it is. Remember, Reynard came into this round 6th place on Saturday. And with all of the wins he's got on the weekend and another win today in this final heat will secure him the championship. That's how much work he's had to do this weekend. Nobody would have thought that Anthony Reynard was in with a shot, but he certainly did. Cam Deroe now fighting it out there with Hickson Mahoney and Jaden Proctor with Jesse Wright at the back. Change up a second, there it is. Smith dives on the inside and finds a way through there on Kieran Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald down to third. And we go further back there. Mlini's dropped back slightly into the clutches of Dalton Fenter and Cam Deroe. A two-way KTM battle with that Husqvarna, the Pepsi Plastic Husqvarna of Dalton Fenter. It looks like Reynard now. He looks over his shoulder every now and again. I think he's concerned about who's behind him. He's looking to see if it's the 108 plate or is it going to be the 737 plate. If it's the 737 plate, he's got work to do. If it's 108, he can maybe relax a bit. He cannot relax. Here is the championship fight, the last race of the season, and the two championship contenders are now fighting for honours on track as well as the championship. Can't ask for better than that when it comes to the script and the drama for 2020, and even taking into account the tough season we've had with lockdown. So it's Reynard now, trying to just get that 23 plate and change it to a number 1 by the end of this one. Can he keep it all together? Smith is going to make him work for it. Here comes Slade Smith on the inside of the fly machine. Oh, and he's looking for a chance now. He's side by side over the fly jump. The two of them in the air. And it is a change-up. Has Smith got through? Yes, he has. Smith has got through. Now, let's see if he can just take the pressure that's going to be applied by that Sinswalo Dragon Energy Yamaha man behind him. Red Bull KTM in third is Kieran Fitzgerald. Fourth place, it's Dalton Fenter. Nice run here from Dalton Fenter. In fact, one of his favourite circuits, that's for sure. Cam Deroe now fallen by the wayside, and it looks like he's ahead of Mlini. Not really in the mix at the front end. The championship is up for grabs. We've got to change up for the lead again. Reynard's at the front. Where's Smith? Looks like Slade Smith's made a mistake somewhere on track. He may have gone down. This could be the championship and all sorted out for Anthony Reynard. Wow, who would have thought this? 6th place coming into the round. There is Smith. He's back up and riding, but no. Too far back to now even contemplate catching Anthony Reynard with the amount of laps we got left. It's Kieran Fitzgerald and Dalton Fenter behind him. And looks at Goosen up into 5th. So David Goosen, the man who was looking for this championship, with a crash earlier on in the day, definitely got a problem. Look in the background as well. The rain is coming. Is that going to be a factor? That massive thunderstorm last year caused chaos in one of the championships. The 450s had to be decided off track. Is it going to be the same here? I think we might just get away with it. Reynard is looking all the time, hoping that there's going to be no incidents with the rain potentially going to be spoiling the championship, but he's done it all right. And what a job he's done. Coming into the double header here at Bloemfontein, and all the wins in the 250 class going his way, bringing him into contention for the championship, and now only a couple of corners away. Anthony Reynard, Sinswalo Dragon Energy Yamaha. He's already saluting to the crowd. He knows he's got it. He is going to be absolutely ecstatic. You won't find a happier man in the circuit than that man right there, Anthony Reynard from Cape Town. What a great run. And there you go. Big celebrations on the sideline for him as well. He's definitely going to be stoked about that effort. Well done, Anthony Reynard. And a big unlucky there to Slade Smith. But what a championship for 2020. Reynard takes it ahead of Slade Smith and Goosen in third. Yamaha's 1, 2, and 3. And it's Kieran Fitzgerald beating out Cam Deroe, Jess Wright, Dalton Fenter, and Brad Cox. The top 8 in the MX2s for 2020. Let's catch up with Slade Smith, the man who came second by only a couple of points.
I feel super bummed, feel like a bit of an idiot as well. I mean, I put myself in the perfect position, second place, got to Anthony, caught him, passed him, and washed the front end through the championship way. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm really bummed. I mean, I couldn't have done it this year without Summit Racing, floor store on train, Thor, customized, and all the rest. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's catch up now with the man who has got the number 1 plate for 2021, Anthony Reynard.
2012 was the last one. Long time ago, 8 years ago. I'm older, but stronger and fitter. Been putting in so much work. My team, the Sinswalo Yamaha racing team, Dragon Energy, Alpine Star, Ace Sports, everyone that's behind us has just put in enormous amounts of work this year. And yeah, the previous national in Maritzburg with the whole year being cut short was a shocker for me, and coming into this race in 6th position in the championship and leaving on top, I can't believe it. Thank you so much to everyone that's been behind me, everyone that supports, everyone that's messaged, my dad and Dave and Warwick that go beyond measures. It's unbelievable. Thank you.
Dave's down in pit lane now to catch up with Lloyd Brown, our Motocross Commission President, for a final word for 2020.
Lloyd Brown, she's just asking you for a season wrap because it's been quite a trying season considering what we've gone through.
Yeah, Dave, it's been a very difficult one. Obviously, with what's happened with the COVID, And then obviously getting permission to go racing again. And then packing everything into double headers. And, you know, it takes a lot out of the machines and the riders to try and do this. But yeah, I think big heads up to everybody. We got it right. And yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to the riders themselves who obviously made the effort to come and do these final ones. We didn't have the full numbers that we always had. But yeah, looking forward to 2021, and hopefully we can start again and do all 7 like we normally do.
That is certainly the plan. Cannabis Energy Drink and TRP hopefully going to be on board with us again for 2021. Look forward to all the action in 2021 and hopefully some spectators on the sideline as well. Hope you've enjoyed all this 2020 action in Motocross Championships. We'll see you soon. All this national motocross action is proudly brought to you by TRP Distributors, Cannabis Energy Drink, and their associate sponsors.